How am I supposed to respond to my ex-wife accusing me of being a hoarder? My ex-wife accuses me of hoarding as she watches me bring more things into my house. Jessica marches over to me. You're a hoarder. What are you talking about now, Jean? The old nickname slips out. You are a hoarder, and I don't want our child here. I stare at Jessica. I believe it is just you. I am not a hoarder. I coach our son's soccer team. I point out the facts. We have all seen you buying tons of things and shuffling it into your house. Sam told me you have everything you need. Our child doesn't lie. This was escalating, but I wouldn't have my ex-wife spreading rumors about me being a hoarder. Sam didn't lie. So you admit you're a hoarder? She yells in my face. No, I am once again cut off. I couldn't help but tune Jessica out. The things I had bought were necessary essentials. Bags of groceries I would haul in. Snacks for the soccer league I taught. Plus my own groceries. Books that I would buy in bulk. Statues of art from struggling artists that were trying to make this month's rent possible. Old typewriters that allowed me to create magical worlds through my writing. Soccer memorabilia that I was proud of because I had taught them when they were younger. It held my life story, along with old records and record players that all of them worked. Grandfather clocks passed down from generations. This didn't make me a hoarder. I hyper-focused back on Jessica when I heard the words cops were called. You did what? I can't help but yell in her face. I called the cops and reported the hoarding situation you have going on. She states proudly, like she was doing me a wonderful service. My mouth drops open as I stare at Jessica, absolutely dumbfounded. Are you mentally sound? Jessica gasps as she glares at me. You, my ex, are the insane one here. She states red in the face and poking my chest. I growl in absolute frustration, and before I could snap something back at her, the cops and city inspectors arrive. How long have you been planning this? Jessica just sniffs as she shakes the officers and city inspectors' hands. I rub my temples as my mood plummets completely. A newbie of an officer held his hand over his sidearm as the other officer spoke up to me. Sir, can we please see your house? You are looking at my house right now. I responded right back with a harsh tone. The newbie glares at me for my words. Sir, if we need to, we can get a search warrant. And how would you do that? For saying no to a cop means a search warrant? I snapped. No, sir. A search warrant to see the integrity of the house through the city, sir. I wanted to scream. I wanted to fight all of them. All I can do is sigh and wave my hand as I turn around and open my door. By this time, a crowd of the other neighbors were out of their houses and were whispering. A red hue was permanently on my face. As one, the officers gag and the city inspector runs outside to vomit into the bushes. All the neighbors close enough had their mouths on the ground. There were piles of only Lord knows what strewn easily 7 feet high with only a slim path to walk. The stench alone seemed to be of rotten food, mold, and horrible BO. I tilted my head, confused by the actions. What's the matter? I asked, genuinely confused. The officers glance at one another. The city inspector just shakes his head at me. The neighbors all look at me as if I've gone insane. Do you guys not like my house? Jessica just has tears in her eyes at my words. Sir, do you not see what we see? One of the officers asked. I shake my head. There's the grandfather clocks lining the walls and a pristine area for my typewriter. The city inspector seems to compose himself first. Sir, there's dead rats in your entry hall. I raise an eyebrow as I look. Oh, those weren't there before. They are mummified, sir. The city inspector deadpans. Something finally seemed to click in my head. Are there really? I ask super softly. The older officer just nods sadly at me. Yes, sir. Please wait here. I wanted to cry. When did it get so bad? How could I let my home get this way? The officers and city inspectors talk for a few minutes far enough away that I couldn't hear them. Jessica just squeezes my shoulder before shaking her head and walking away. Sir, we are going to take you to the hospital. As the officer told me this, I watched despondently as the inspector placed on the door an unsafe to enter tag. A tear falls from my eye. I'm not a hoarder, I mumbled desperately to the officers. We just want to make sure you are healthy. The older officer grabbed my hand. He starts leading me to his vehicle. The officer gently sets me up in his cruiser. It took 3 psychiatrists for me to see that I have a mental condition that is taking away my memory and turning me into a hoarder over the course of 3 months. Finally, I was released and I stared at my home. Jessica and Sam walk over calmly. You're not going to open it? I don't want to see it, I mutter. She shakes her head before unlocking the door as the neighbors gather around us. I gate at the cleaned up area. We all pitched in to help, Jessica said softly. I just look around at everyone as a tear slips from my eye. Thank you.